Steve Campbell here from the C3 Church, Cambridge, Colchester, Bury St Edmunds and online, and also the National Director now for the GLN, Global Leadership Network. And I've been asked to give you just 5 minutes of one leadership tip. And here it is. Keep learning. If we forfeit the right to learn, we forfeit the right to lead. You must have a strategy for continuous learning, whether that's reading or podcasts or conferences, because it not only improves you as a person, and this is key, but it keeps you humble. Always willing to listen and learn from anyone. Put yourself in a position that you must learn from somebody else. I've discovered this. The more I know about a subject, then the more I realize how much there is to learn about it. The more I realize how much I don't know. And 2 areas I suggest continuous learning is this: wisdom of self and knowledge of God. So wisdom consists of knowledge of God and knowledge of self. John Calvin, in a book, one of his Christian institutes on religion, wrote this. He said, "The knowledge of God and that of ourselves are connected. Without knowledge of self, there is no knowledge of God. Without knowledge of God," he wrote, "there is no knowledge of self." Knowledge of self, understanding yourself, is really important. Learn to know yourself. I've never yet met a 100% secure person except one. His name is Jesus. It says in the scriptures that Jesus, knowing that the Father had delivered all things into his hands, and that he'd come from God and was returning to God, got up from supper, laid aside his outer garments, and wrapped a towel around his waist, and began to wash the feet of his disciples. It says, knowing who he was, knowing where he'd come from, he was secure. Everyone else I've met has issues. And if you're thinking, well, I don't, well, you've just identified your issue. Get to know yourself, understand yourself. These may be from an experience or your upbringing. I have personally found a couple of questions helpful on the emotional level, because most insecurities don't manifest in a logical way. You feel them. So I've been asking myself over the last few years, what am I feeling right now? How can I learn more about myself? And if I can identify the emotion, it not only helps me to control it rather than it control me, but it may help me to pinpoint the trigger. I'm feeling angry. Why might I be feeling angry? God, by his Holy Spirit, will reveal things. He'll teach you. He is a teacher. So much of leadership is actually not a battle with others. It's a battle with self. If I can lead myself better, I can lead you better, and I'll be better for others. Issues that you didn't resolve, by the way, at 30 won't disappear because you get to 50 or 70. But unresolved issues usually get worse over time. So there are a lot of immature 55-year-olds still dealing with stuff that could have been dealt with if we'd been willing to learn. Insecure people are extremely self-focused. Their needs end up trumping the needs of the organization, whereas a secure leader will wake up and do what's best, even if she or he thinks she's done it 1,000 times. And secure leaders can focus on something bigger than themselves because they're over themselves. And we all know leaders, even Christian leaders, who are constantly trying to prove themselves. I think it was Carrie Newhoff who said this: leaders who try to prove themselves lose themselves. So that's my first tip. Stay humble in keeping a willingness to learn about God and about yourself. And I focus particularly on yourself. That's my leadership tip. God bless you.